everybody! So today is Wednesday, and that means it's time for the next entry in my Disney Canon project. We are at 2016. Crazy, we're only one more. We're done. Yay! So today we're talking about the 55th animated classic from Disney, Zootopia. And Zootopia was one of my favorite movies of last year. I really do love it, and we're going to kind of dive into it, talk about some of the pros, the cons, and what I think of it as a whole. Zootopia is an anthropomorphic film from Disney. The last one they did was Chicken Little. And this is a huge step up from Chicken Little in pretty much every capacity. And it is a throwback to a lot of things that used to be a part of Disney that we hadn't seen in a long time. It's a throwback to the Disney fable. And there used to be a lot of Disney fables, whether it was the tortoise and the hare or the ugly duckling, or they have a whole DVD set of just Disney fables, Paul Bunyan, whatever it might be, and Prince and the Pauper. And I like these kind of stories. I think they're really good because I think there is value in sort of using art to teach lessons to children. Because sometimes it's hard. I'm not a parent, but sometimes it's hard to teach those lessons to children. And it's helpful to have a media of different kinds to help us to be able to explain those lessons to children. Even just as at my class at church, when I taught children, I taught this 9-year-olds, sometimes certain lessons were very difficult to explain. And so I would use a movie clip, I would use a video clip to kind of show them, and they would get it better than just sort of my words. And so I think that there's value in fables and stories, and there have been since forever. Again, I mean, how long have we had the Aesop's fables and other stories? And so I think that it's a really good thing. Also a throwback to, like I said, these anthropomorphic type of films that used to be a big part of the Disney canon. These films where animals had more clothes, and that's what anthropomorphic means. You had your Robin Hoods and your Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Mr. Toad. You had Pinocchio, just a bunch of different films that had this. And so it was really refreshing and really fun. And especially because, like I said, because I hated Chicken Little so much, I was really hoping this would be sort of a redemption for the mistakes of Chicken Little. And it really is. I mean, Chicken Little is very mean-spirited, and this is the opposite of that. This is very positive and encouraging and loving and everything like that. So some of the other great things about the movie is I think that Judy Hopps is just an absolutely fabulous character. Ginnifer Goodwin is so good as the voice. You can't imagine it being any other type of voice as the character. And I think that the problem is that it does have this metaphor of race relations and prejudice, but I think that the movie actually has more than that. It's not just the metaphor, and I think that sometimes it gets too sort of watered down to that metaphor when really there is more to the film than just that metaphor, because I think that Judy is more than that metaphor. She is a character that refuses to ever give up, and she even says at the beginning, I don't know when to quit. And I really like that about her character. I think that there's lots of kids can take away from that character, that they can remember that if you have something that you want, then go for it and really try your hardest and put everything you can into it, and that will that's all you can do in the end. And I also like the way that Judy finds unique ways to solve problems. That I think that's cool that the movie is to scale, and so you have her as a tiny little bunny, and then these big other creatures that are animals that are huge, and so Judy has to find creative ways to solve problems. And I think that's a good lesson for kids, is to say, you know what, maybe I'm smaller, maybe I'm not as talented. How can I find another way to sort of get what I want out of life, or be happy with what I have, one or the other? And so I think that's a good lesson that you can take. I think that there's a bully narrative that's really good in this, that the way that we see, a lot of times you don't see sort of the end of the bully story in a movie, and here you do with Gideon.
Judy, I'd just like to say I'm sorry for the way I behaved in my youth. I had a lot of self-doubt, and it manifested itself in the form of unchecked rage and aggression. I was a major jerk.
Oh, I know a thing or two about being a jerk.
The story of the film is that Judy Hopps is a little bunny in Bunnyboro, and she wants to become a police officer because she believes in Zootopia. She believes in this idea of a place where predators and prey live together in harmony. And this is the world that is the world of Zootopia. There's two types of animals. There's the predator and prey. And for a while it really bothered me because I thought, why are we comparing maybe different races to a predator? And that's not good. But in reality, they're really not. It's really just about comparing fear and the way that we are afraid of anything that's different, more than it is specifically like that these worlds are equal. Okay, so Zootopia obviously is a world of animals and is a world of predators and prey. We're different from that world, but we obviously to people of different races are not a predator versus a prey, but we have also have these same things about fear and the way that we can let headlines and fear tactics and fear mongers cause us to mistrust people that we don't even know. And so I think that you can't take it so literally. Like in every fable, the world building is going to be a little bit different than our own, but we can still take the heart of what they're trying to say into our lives and make us better. So she just still wants to be a cop, and she goes through all her training, and that's where I said she figures out new ways to solve all of these problems and to be able to make it onto the force. Well, she gets onto the force, and she realizes that she's just going to be the officer is just kind of placating her. Chief Bogo, who's hilariously voiced by Idris Elba, so funny, and he doesn't care that she's a fighter or plucky or whatever. Like, he just wants to get the job done.
Some cartoon musical where you sing a little song and your insipid dreams magically come true. So let it go.
And she meets this fox named Nick Wilde, who is a hustler. And he has shown her this hustle by getting her to buy this ice pop for him, and that he then takes and makes into smaller pops and sells to these lemmings, predators that have been missing. And Judy really, really wants to be on one of these cases. Well, the Chief Bogo will have nothing of it. And he's mad at her for falling after this thief, this weasel, all the way through Rodent Town, which is so entertaining. I love it. And he's really mad at her, and so he doesn't want to give her the case, but the wife of Emmett Otterton comes in, and Judy offers to try to find him. So she is given 48 hours to solve the case, or she has to resign because he doesn't really want her on part of the team. And so she starts looking into it, and she hustles Nick Wilde into being part of the case. And they start investigating it. They go to all the different parts of the world of Zootopia. There's Tundra Town, there's Rainforest Square. I love the world building, it's amazing.
A gleaming city where animals of all breeds, predator and prey alike, live together in peace and harmony.
Hi!
And they meet a little shrew called Mr. Big, who is this is my favorite scene in the whole movie. It absolutely cracks me up because Nick has sold him a skunk rug, and sort of the play on The Godfather I just think is absolutely hilarious.
I trusted you, Nicky. I welcomed you into my home. We broke bread together. Grandmama made you a cannoli. And how did you repay my generosity? With a rug made from the butt of a skunk. A skunk butt rug. You disrespected me. You disrespected my grandmama, who I buried in that skunk butt rug.
And so this movie is so funny. That's one of the things that I'd forgotten, and then I watched it again to get ready for my top 15 list, and I was just laughing so much. The script is really well done. So they continue on this investigation. They become friends. It culminates where they find the missing predators, and it turns out they have been kind of turned into savages, but they don't know why. And Mayor Lionheart is somehow involved in all of this, that he's been hiding this from the people because he doesn't want them to be afraid. Again, that's the theme of the movie, is fear, and how we allow fear to control us. Well, then there's this news conference that Judy has, and she talks about how predators are, savage, of their nature is showing, and how, this is a problem. And
well, all we know is that they are all members of the predator family.
So predators are the only ones going savage?
That is accurate. Yes, that is accurate. Yes.
Why? Why is this happening?
We still don't know. But it may have something to do with biology.
What do you mean by that?
A biological component, something in their DNA.
Nick is very offended by this, and that she would say this kind of thing about him when he thought they were friends, and that she would look at predators this way.
Them?
Oh, there's a them now.
You know what I mean? You're not that kind of predator.
The kind that needs to be muzzled? The kind that makes you think you need to carry around fox repellent? Yeah, don't think I didn't notice that little item the first time we met. So, let me ask you a question. Are you afraid of me? Do you think I might go nuts? You think I might go savage? You think I might try to eat you?
Her words start throwing everybody kind of into a state of fear, and in Zootopia, and they're fearful of the predators. Out that there's actually this flower called night howlers, which when they are ingested or shot at or made contact with any animal, they turn them into a predator, into a savage, I guess. And Judy finds this out when talking to her parents, and she realizes that she was wrong in saying that predators were sort of innately savaged, and that she had given into her fears and her prejudices as well. And I think that that's great about this movie, is that none of the characters are perfect. None of the characters are sort of bastions of, and I think it keeps it from being kind of super preachy, in my opinion, because it has flawed characters. It has characters that learn, it has characters that grow, and I think that that's also important for kids to see, is that you can learn and improve, and that nobody is 100% prejudice free, whether they like to pretend it or not. Getting back, she's apologizing to Nick in one of my favorite scenes of the movie. It's very heartfelt, very sweet.
I can't do it without you. And after we're done, you can hate me. And that'll be fine, because I was a horrible friend, and I hurt you, and you can walk away knowing that you were right all along. I really am just a dumb bunny.
That Mayor Bellwether is the assistant Mayor Bellwether is the one who's behind all of this, because she has felt marginalized and that she didn't get the respect that she deserved, and so she's created this scheme where people would be afraid of the predators, and the prey, the people like her, because she's a sheep, that they would become the leaders of the city. So that was sort of her scheme. And I don't think, this is like the 4th or 5th villain reveal that they've done for Disney. And I agree that I think this is getting a little old, and I wish that they had done something else with the villain. But I didn't really mind it that much. It didn't really bother me for this type of story, because this is, at its heart, it's a detective story. It's a film, kind of noir, detective buddy cop kind of story. And I think that it works for this kind of story, but I really don't want them to do it again. Other than that, I think that's a small problem with the story. It's a story with great heart. It's something that can teach a lot of great lessons to kids. And it's something that is just so beautiful. I love the world building. It's so funny. It's something just with great heart, and something that I think is the best non-musical from Disney since 101 Dalmatians. I stand by that. I think it's better than Wreck-It Ralph. I think it's better than Emperor's New Groove. I think it's better than Rescuers Down Under. And so for me, I do really, really love Zootopia. I think it has great voice casting. I think, like I said, beautiful world building and just amazing and so creative. And I also think the music is good. I like it. I like Shakira's song. I'm not a big Shakira fan, but I like it. I think it fits with the world and with the movie. So that's kind of my thoughts on Zootopia. I think I'd give it an A and now yeah, so let me know what you think about Zootopia. Where are you at on it? Put it in the comment section, and thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.